It's a game from Dollar General and it's 4-in-1 board game. So I'm going to run through the ones that we've been playing. So one of the ones is this one, is Snake and Ladders. And this is how the board game looks. This is the instructions. It's a pretty simple game. It's for ages 3 and up. And it comes with all sorts of pieces that you actually tear out. So my grandson's already tore these out, most of them. So different pieces go with one of the 4 games. So for this one, it has these little things here. So they tell you to start, you put them on these little circles. And we can only find 3. The other one must be on the floor somewhere. So the game is really simple. It says each player puts their game piece on one of the purple circles, so we did that. Players take turn rolling the die. It comes with a little die. And if the player game piece lands at the bottom of a ladder, that player can move their game piece to the top. So if they're playing, say they land on 7, and that's at the bottom of the ladder, then they can move it to the top of the ladder. So they kind of get a little boost up. And then if a player game piece lands on the snake of a head of the snake, like if they land on number 52, then they must slide their game piece down to the bottom of the snake. So that would take them all the way back down to 2. And there's several snakes on here. The first player to reach 100 is the winner. So it's a fun, easy game for kids. This is, like I said, from Dollar General, and it's always good to get games cheap here. I'd even pay $5. I think I paid maybe 50 cents for it because they always put their games on sale. And it's a great time to stock up and give your kids something to play other than computer games, or if it's rainy outside or too hot, this is one of the games. The second game I'm going to show you is Little Heroes. Again, this is for ages 3 plus, and 2 to 4 players can play. This one is kind of fun, and it's very, very simple. All these games are very, very simple. So here are the instructions here. Beginning on start, players take turns rolling the die and moving their game pieces. The number of the die space is shown on the die. The first to reach finish saves the day and wins the game. And then along the way, these are some of the little pieces that goes with it. Again, it comes in the little packet. You just take them out and you put it together, and then you can move your little pieces. It'll have little things along the way, like you lose a turn, or you move forward 1 space, or you move back 4 spaces. The key is to get to the finish line, and then you're the winner. If you land on the last space, you have to roll a 1 to win. Now, the only confusing part of the game is whether or not you're supposed to, everybody stops here. I just did it where once a person, if the die land them here, then they just stay here and roll the die until they win. But if they don't land there, say they get 3 and they're right here, then 1, 2, 3, and then they're the winner. That's just how I did it. The instructions don't really specify, like in life where it'll tell you to stop. It doesn't do that. So you have to kind of use your imagination on that one. The third game in this series is called Arctic Race. Again, this is another easy game. We just finished playing this, and it was a lot of fun. You do have to pay attention to the numbers on here because they go different ways. Like example, 1, 2, 3, 4, then it goes up this way, and then it kind of changes up. As you can see, you'll be climbing, going upward. So the key thing is, you're following the number pattern. Also, it has, the object of the game is to get to the Arctic where the animals are. So that means once you get on 59, then you're there. Now, along the way, there are some challenges. Like if you land on 3, you have to go back to start. They also have another one to go back to start if you land on number 49. I'm playing with my grandson, so actually when he landed on that, I didn't have him to go back. And here it may tell you to move back or it may tell you to move forward. So it's kind of a really fun, easy game to do. The pieces you use, now the pieces, they match each board, so you know which pieces go. Because here, their little figures are in little winter wear, like the Arctic, and you put this on there and you move it around. So it's pretty simple and fun. And I'm gonna show you the directions if you want to see it. Okay, so let's go to the very last game. Okay, this is the last game in the series, the 4-in-1 board game. This is Zoo Adventure Ludo, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay, so you basically have a board here, and we actually already started playing. So what you do, each player chooses a color and match the 4 game pieces on the match color circle. So you have your blue, your yellow, your red, and green. So you sit them, you put them on each one. This is, I think, 2 to 4 players, and we are actually playing 2, but I'm just going to show you how it looks. So basically, player takes turns rolling the dice to move a game piece into the trail. Players must roll a 5. The first player to roll a 5 will start the game. So we didn't do that part. I had the youngest to go first. Players take turns rolling the dice and moving the game piece clockwise around the trail. So you see the little paw prints are the trail. So you're going around. So when you roll your number, say if I roll, I'm going to start with this one. Say if I roll a 6, then I'm starting here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And basically, you're going all the way around the board. When you come back to your spot here to start, then you can retire that one and put it here. So the object of the game is the first person that fills this up will be the winner. But there are some tricks to the game. Oh, so once you retire that one, of course, you start your next one. So you get your next one up here. So here are some of the challenges in the game, or some extra things. If a player rolls a 5, they take another turn and move a new piece. So automatically, you get 5. You get to put one of your pieces out there. And so you're playing both of them. And then it says if a player lands on a player's game piece, they must return their game piece to the start. So that happened to me. I landed on one of my opponent's circles, and I had to go back to start. If a player lands on one of their own game pieces, the 2 pieces form a block that no other player can land or pass. So they're stuck if you have, 2 of you side by side. Okay, so when a player's game piece has moved all the way around the board, like I already said, you can put it in the home column, and that's the column there. And the first player, like I said, return all game pieces to their home column is the winner. So pretty easy, simple game again. I'm still playing with my grandson. I'm taking a break for a minute, but yeah, so far he's winning. And so I hope you enjoyed learning about the different games. 4-in-1, real fun, easy, simple game for kids. Like I said, this is ages 3 plus and up. I got this from Dollar General, and you know, A great place to get cheap games. They're always putting their games on sale. So be looking out for their sales. So just stock up on a bunch of games. Thanks for watching.